Hello. In this video, we'll speak about and discuss about inheritance and some other uh, inheritance and other techniques in the Java. So, such as overreading, and we discuss about also overloading and the difference between overreading and overloading, and with examples. Java code, overloading and overriding. All these are Java polymorphism. So overriding and overloading, these are Java polymorphism. 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 We will discuss first polymorphism, and then we will discuss about overloading and reading. Moreover, we will discuss about interface and the difference between interface and the class. And here we have a comparison how to deal with interface and with a class when we are make inheritance from interface or a class. So let's go now and discuss about the inheritance. Inheritance, it's a very important topic, and in Java. So we have here a public class which is named A, and it has a variable and the public void, okay, method, and we here define a class of type B which extends from the class A. So its inheritance extends means it's a child. B is a child of A. B child of A. B extends A. Okay. So all the things and the code which in A will be included in B. Okay. So here we illustrated public static void main, and it has arguments, and we open the curly brackets of the static void main. Okay, and here we have B, which is selector constructor. B constructor, which is the name of class B. So I have here object name B. So B equals new B. As we said before, B is a constructor and B is object, and to define this object we use the keyword new, and then B and parentheses, then B dot print A. So B will use print A, which is in the class A because it is extends from A. So when execute print A, it will print I am from class A. Then B dot X equals 1, 2, 3. And where is X here? Also, it's in class A. So the system out print line will print x b dot x, which is 1 2 3. Okay. Java inheritance subclass and superclass. Why Java will generate an error in this code? Because here we define this class, which is super, as a final, so it's protected. We cannot use it as a parent. So here we defined or declared about the class sub, which extends from super, and this gave error because the class super is final, it's protected. Java inheritance subclass and superclass. Why Java will generate an error? The main purpose of using a class being declared as final is to prevent the class from being a subclass. If a class is marked as final, then no class can inherit any feature from the final class. You cannot extend the final class. If you try to gives you a compiler time error. We have another example here of the vehicle, and we have in the vehicle protected this variable brand of string type, and it's protected. And we have also another method, which is honk, and this method has this code, which println toot. And we have another class, which is car, which extends from vehicle. So all the things or the code inside vehicle will be extended and included in the car class. And here the code of the car, we have also another variable of string, and it's this value. And we have inside it we have public static void main. Okay, so we create my car object, and the car, my car equals new car. This is the object, my car, which of the constructor car. Okay, the class car, and my car dot honk is a method. I will use it. And then also I have system out println my car dot brand. Where is brand? Brand is found as a variable in the father or the parent vehicle. And we have also model name, which in the child of car. Okay, also my car uh, is a type of car. It's a object of the class car or the constructor car. Inheritance. Instance of in Java class. Instance of this method is very important. So let's see or discuss about instance of class animal. And we have class dog extends from animal or extends animal, so the parent is animal and the dog one a child. Then we find the public static void main. Dog one, the object of dog one, and equals new dog one, as we see. System out print line the instance of animal. So if the uh, related to animal, if d related to animal, it will be true. So this is the function of instance of. So if d related to animal, instance of animal, it will give us true when we execute this program. Inheritance, class teacher, string designation teacher. String, we have also another variable, which is beginner book, and we have the void those. or does, and the does has this print code. Then we have public class physics teacher extends from teacher. So all this code in teacher will be included in the class physics teacher because it's inherited from teacher. Then we have another variables, the main subject, and we have created here the function, the program or the structure class, sorry, which is class main class. Okay. Then we have object of the class physics teacher and new physics teacher. Then we will use this object with all the variables inside the parent and the child. Okay. Plus the methods, not only the variables but the methods. Okay. And here we have other examples. We have when we execute in the NetBean, we use the package in here. We have a package, and if there is importing some method or classes, built-in classes, we will write here. And we have public class box, double width, double height, these variables inside the class box. And we have public box also. This is a method, and this is a class, but this is a method. And we have public box, double W, double H, double D. So we will call, we will call the class box. So this is instructor. This is constructor. Okay, constructor. Okay, this is constructor defined as a constructor, and we will a box is defined here. So public class matchbox extends from box. So and it's include the weight public matchbox. Okay. And constructor, this constructor. Okay. And public matchbox has four variables. The three variables of which is inherited from the box or extends of box, and the one of the weight. So super HWD and the weight M. Okay. Super this function is related to the method this method. Okay. So then public static void main string args matchbox MB1, which is object of the class matchbox, and new matchbox, and here is the parameters. So we'll use the parameters this, and then we'll the object will use the method get volume. So the method get volume, what's it's doing? It's doing like calculate volume, and it's found in somewhere in the program. So this is another picture for the code is clear, and it will calculate volume of the matchbox, and will print also its height, weight, depth, and width. The overreading. Now we'll discuss about overreading. Using an existing method with the same signature and with different implementation. Yeah, we can use the same method with the same name but different implementation, like different parameters. Okay, this is overreading. So if subclass child class has the same method as declared in the parent class, it is known as method overreading in Java. In other words, if subclass provides a specific implementation of the method that has been declared by one of its parent, by one of its parent class. It is known as method overriding. Rules of Java method overriding: the method must have the same name as in the parent class, the same name. The second, the method must have the same parameter as in the parent class. يبقى السيم parameter في البيرنت كلاس ويكون السيم name. So we will do over reading. This is the overreading. Let's see. Can we override Java main method? No, we cannot because the main is a static method. We cannot override. Can final method override? No, also, because the methods that are declared as final cannot be overridden, or hidden methods are declared final in Java to prevent subclasses from overriding them and changing their behavior. Let's see this example. We have the class animal. We have its method here, animal sound. And we have class big, which extends from animal. Also big has another the same method name, animal sound, but here the parameter difference. This is differ from this. Okay. And also we have dog extends for animal and the animal sound, and this is a sentence which will be printed inside the animal sound method. So the three methods are the same name, but the parameter is its value is different. So okay, it's one parameter, the same. So we have here the syntax of the code of Z. Of this of another example in the written in the A and the NB. So public class bird extends animal. Public class bird extends animal. Okay, public bird, super system out print a new bird has been created. So the bird has this line of code, and we have a function or method super. This is of bird, which is extended from animal. Also, we have public void eat. This is public void eat. Okay, super dot eat to change body of generated methods. Okay, so we have a bird can eat. Override. This overreading, we will discuss it is in details from the W3 schools will be more easily. Overloading. If a class has multiple methods having the same name but different parameters, overriding if the multiple class have the same method with the same structure of parameter, same parameter. Okay, this is overloading. But overloading, if a class has multiple methods having the same name but different in parameters, it's known as method overloading. Method overloading is possible in Java, which is one of the unique features of object-oriented program (OOP). There are ways to overload the method in Java. Two ways to overload the method in Java. Class multiply. We have a class which is name multiply. Then void null, integer A or integer B. Okay, so we have a method which void null of two parameters or two variables A and B. System out println sum of two A times B. This is the times of two. or multiplication of 2, A times B. Then we have void mul, integer A, integer B, integer C. Void mul, integer A, integer B, integer C. Okay? The same method name but different in parameters. These two parameters, but these three parameters. And we have here the sum of the three, or the multiplication of the three, A times B times C. Then public class polymorphism, and public static void main class, which is called polymorphism. And here in this class, we created another main, which is static void main public static void main, and multiply, which is this class, an object of the constructor multiply, new multiply. So m dot mul 6 and 10 will deal with this one, and m dot mul this method will deal and contact this method, because this of three parameters. Okay, the same the two methods are included in the multiply. Okay, overloading. This is another example of overloading. Static integer int plus method. This method return a value of int, so it has two parameters, and it returns the summation of the two parameters. Another method of double type, and it has two double variables, and it will also calculate the summation of the two variables or two parameters. So we have here declared in the main my num1, which is variable, and the variable will include the plus method 8 and 5. So this is integer, so it will call this one, the first one, which is calculate some the integer values. And then we have double my num2. My num2 equals plus method. بلس ميثود هنا هيكول اللي هي الدبل, because the values here are floating points. Then we will use the print line, so this integer and my num1 and double my num2. Okay, thanks. Java polymorphism. Java polymorphism means many forms. Polymorphism means many forms, and it goes when you have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. Okay, so these are used when there are inheritance, when there are many forms. Inheritance let us inherit attributes and methods from another class. This is inheritance. Inheritance let us inherit attributes and methods from another class. Okay, this inheritance. We don't inherit only attributes, but also methods. Okay, from another class. Polymorphism uses those methods to perform different tasks. This allows us to perform a single action in different ways. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is also a way. Polymorphism is also a way through which a type can behave differently. هنا polymorphism is also a way through which a type can behave differently. Than expected based upon which kind of object it is pointing. Overloading and overreading. Overloading and overreading. We have overloading and overreading. Are two forms, overloading and overreading are two forms of polymorphism. So overloading, we discussed the overloading and the overreading, and the two techniques or two concepts are types or forms of polymorphism, which are available in Java. Both overloading and the overreading concepts are two methods in Java. Since polymorphism literally means taking multiple forms, so even so you have the same of the method, the same in the case of overloading and overriding. An actual method called can be any of these multiple methods with the same name. Java polymorphism, for example, think of superclass called animal that has a method called animal sound. Subclasses of animals called bee, pigs, cats. Java polymorphism example. We have the class animal, and we have here the animal sound, which is a method in this class. And we have another child class big extends from animal, and we have dog extends from extends animal. Okay, and each one has its animal sound as we see. So let's continue. We have the main and public static void main, and هنا animal, my animal, this object of the animal class, the parent class, new animal, and we have my big, this is another object which of animal also, we equals the big, but here we it will because this is the father of the parent, and here the child which is big, so my big will follow big, and my dog will follow dog, and so on. So my animal dot animal sound, when my animal dot my, which is animal and a new animal, so it will relate to the first method, animal sound, the animal makes a sound. Okay, so after that my big, so it will relate to big class or big child, and this dog sorry method. Okay, the animal of the big child. Okay, okay. So we have interface. Now we will talk about interface. Interface supports multiple inheritance. When there are multiple inheritance, it will be used with interface. So the interface keyword is used to declare interface. Members of a Java interface are public by default. So interface is public by default. You need to put public before it. Java interface. Interface supports multiple inheritance. The interface keyword is used to declare interface. يبقى interface used to declare interface. Members of a Java interface are public by default. Members of Java interface are public also by default because interface is public by default. So interfaces cannot be used to create objects. يبقى interfaces cannot be used to create objects. Interfaces cannot be used to create objects. Interface methods don't have a body. Interface methods don't have a body. Okay? Interface methods don't have a body. The body is provided by the implement class. So we will use implement keyword. Okay, يبقى interface don't have body, and the body will be provided by implementing class. On implementation of an interface, you must override all of its methods. You will do override, okay, all of its methods. Interface methods are by default abstract and public. Okay, interface methods are by default public, static, and final. الانترفيس cannot contain a constructor. مفيش constructor للانترفيس as it cannot be used to create objects. So you cannot create object from interface. Okay, but there is multiple inheritance in interface methods that don't have body and it provided by the implementing class. Okay, Java interface. Why and when to use interface? Java is not about multiple inheritance. A class can only inherit from one superclass. However, it can be achieved with interfaces because the class can implement multiple interfaces. Multiple interfaces. Note the implement multiple interfaces, separate them with a comma. Okay, separate them with a comma. Java interface animal, and we have public void animal sound. Interface method does not have body. Okay, interface method does not have body. مفيش body في الانترفيس، مفيش curly brackets. Public void run. After that we have run. Also, this is interface method does not have a body. يعني دي كمان الميثود نفسها ما فيهاش بادي، يعني لا الانترفيس فيه بادي ولا الميثود بتاعته فيها ايه؟ فيها بادي. اهو انترفيس A وانترفيس B وكلاس C implements A و B. ادي الساينتكس اللي انا اعمل inheritance using الانترفيس from more than one parent. using as بس البيرنت دي لازم يكون ايه؟ انترفيس. Interface example of interface animal public void animal sound و public void sleep كل ده included في الانترفيس animal and interface method so we have interface method ما فيهاش body nobody also sleep has nobody. Okay, but we have class big implements animal. Big implements animal. Okay, so big implements animal. Big implements animal. Okay, so when we make a child, we use implement from interface. And this class implemented from interface. Public void animal sound. Okay, the big says we وبعد كده هنا بنعمل there is sleep void sleep. Okay, and then we have system output main public static void main big my big بيساوي البيج وهنا اللي هو new big و my big animal sound which is an animal and my big fell asleep اللي هي المثل بتاعت السليب يبقى الانيمال ساوند والسليب. Now we have inheritance. If the class, this is very important, if the class inheritance from class use extends, from interface use implements. Interface extends from interface and interface. Okay. Class implements في الانترفيس والانترفيس more than interface. Easy. Let's go now to the W3 schools and we have inheritance. Let's start with inheritance. This is inheritance. So we have superclass and subclass. Superclass which is a child and subclass which is parent, and we have used this same code. So here we can service, so run the same result. Final keyword, you can, this will give error because Java polymorphism. Java polymorphism. Polymorphism means and it occurs when we have many classes. This is polymorphism, as we said. Uh, like we specified in previous chapter, inheritance. So we have many classes: the parent class and the child class. The animal and the pig extends from animal, and dog extends from animal. It's easy. We can use it. We can copy this and use it instead of writing. Also, for example, now we can create and dog objects and call the animal sound. The animal sound here, and we have in every class animal sound, but the animal sound of each class is different. But all have the same animal sound and the same parameter. So this is called overreading. This is called overreading. Example of overreading. Okay. Java inner classes. We have inner classes now. Uh, in Java, it is also possible to nest classes, class within class. We don't speak about inner classes. The purpose of the nested classes is to group classes that belong together, which makes your code more readable and maintainable. To access inner classes, create an object of the outer class and then create an object of the inner class. So we have outer class and we have the class inner class. So public class inside also uh, the parent. No, it's different. Public class main, public static void, وهنا outer class outer class وmy outer، وهنا الاوتر class dot inner class outer class dot inner class. uh, uh, and here my inner which is inter class of outer class. My inner class is included in outer class. Okay, so my inner which is object equals my outer dot new inner class. My outer dot new inner class. Okay, my outer which is the object which is of type outer class dot new inner class, and then print my inner dot y plus my outer dot x. So my outer dot x equals 10. My inner equals y 5 15. Okay. طيب. Private inner class. Now we have private inner class. Okay. Uh, same example, the out and the inner, which are nested classes, and the inner is nested inside the outer, and we have the class main, inside it static void main also. So outer plus equals outer class. Okay, new outer class برضه هنا my inner equals my outer dot new inner class. my inner بيساوي الاوتر في الانر كلاس. الانر كلاس this is a method. وهنا الاوتر كلاس. Okay, this is defining it as outer dot new inner class. So also my inner dot y 5 plus my outer dot x 10. But here, when if you try to access private inner class, private, because this is private, okay. In the previous example, cat a class default it's a public, but you write private. So if you try to access private inner class from the outside class, an error occurs. Okay, you can use the inner from the outside, from an outside class, because give an error. Okay, دي الكيس بتاعت الانر. Static inner class, also static. We have class. It was public, as you see public. في الترم هنا في الأول خالص كان إيه؟ كان public. Okay. But here we will static inner class. The same way we have the outer and we have the inner. We this also the same as before. Will print 5 because we have only one parameter here, my inner dot y. It will print 5. Assess outer class from inner class. Outer class, also we have inner class in this interface. This oh no, this is classes. Okay, so we have in the inner class my inner method, which returns x. Okay, how to access outer from inner and show public class main, public static void main. outer class my outer بيساوي new outer class. outer class dot inner class بيساوي my inner بيساوي my outer dot new inner class. So here we will use my outer, which is outer class, with inner class. Where is the inner class? The inner class of inner class. Okay, so it will include all these attributes. It will print my inner dot my inner method. My inner method x. My inner dot inner. My inner بيساوي my outer dot new inner class. Okay, my outer dot new inner class هنا بيساوي ايه؟ return الاكس. هنا my enter method, my inner method. Where is my inner method? My inner method اهي اللي هي الاكس. يعني هترجع الاكس. but هنا my inner هاخد my outer dot inner class new inner class هاخد الاوتر واحطه ايه في الانر ماشي. abstraction وانترفيس. abstract classes and methods. Abstraction is the process of hiding certain details and showing only essential information to the user. Abstraction can be achieved with either abstract classes or interface. So the abstract keyword is non-access modifier used for classes and methods. Abstract class is a restricted class that cannot be used to create objects. To access it, it must be inherited from. So we will discuss here the abstraction and stop at abstraction. Okay. So the abstract class is a restricted class that cannot be used to create objects. Like interface, the same. To access it, it must be inherited from another class. To access it, it must be inherited from another. Abstract method can only be used in an abstract class, and it does not have a body. The body is provided by the subclass. Okay. So here we have the example: abstract class animal, public abstract void animal sound, public void sleep, system. From the example, it's not possible to create an object of the animal. So this will generate an error. To access the abstract does, it must be inherited from another class first. Inherited from another class. Let's convert the animal class we used in the polymorphism chapter. So we have abstract class animal, and we have a public abstract void animal sound regular method اللي هي sleep. Then we have here class big extends animal. So we have big, and big includes animal sound. Also we have animal sound. Okay. Here we have big, my big بيساوي new big creates a big object. My big animal sound, my big sleep. It's easy. Let's stop now, and so we have interface in next time. Thanks for watching and listening.